You are tuned into my weekly talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced and get happy with Dr. Marissa. And this show is about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So I have shows and topics.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days.
Monday, Tuesday,
Happy days.
Wednesday, Thursday,
Happy days.
Friday, whatever.
Happy days.
What a day. Na, 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 na.
I love you.
I love you too.
Best known as the mom from Happy Days, and she is a delightful 89-year young Marion Ross to my studio. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Dr. Marissa, this is such a treat for me.
Oh.
My goodness, you're a wonderment.
Which is exactly the kind of guest that I like. Those who have gone through life, good and bad, and then taken those experiences to alchemize them into the person they are now and doing good on the planet. I'd like you to welcome Corey Feldman.
If you're grateful for it and you say right away, thank you, God. Oh, my God, that's so beautiful. I'm so blessed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Then guess what? More good things will come to you.
Does this sound familiar at all? She's back again to mark my Cancer Awareness and Prevention Month show. Please welcome Fran Drescher. Hi, Fran.
On and supporting cancer schmance. I really appreciate it.
So what would you say are some of the biggest myths, Fran, that people have about cancer?
Well, I would say that they think that there's a cure for it.
Okay.
Instead of a cause for it.
This is the first call-in show when I get to be Dr. Marissa, the kinder, gentler Dr. Laura. And people call in to get their life tires balanced and their critical thinking or their BS, their belief systems, smog checked. And today I am delighted to have Malie calling in from Birmingham, Alabama.
We could go 90 days and end up having terrible sex. And then you say, well, the relationship's not all about sex. Well, if I'm not getting great sex from you, then I'm going to get it from somebody else. Right?
That moose just got put on the table. And I see Josh and Jim.
I have to agree
You're
with Clyde.
both nodding. Ramon's sort of half nodding because his wife's listening. But
I understood what was going to happen if Muhammad Ali's youngest daughter, made public that I was going to become a boxer. So I wanted to make sure this was the path that I wanted to go down.
you are absolutely fabulous, beautiful inside and out. And I'm giving you Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award today.
Thank you.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip.
that started from this tropic point.
When I go, I'm gone.
Are you lonely?
No.
Yeah, I knew that was going to be.
But
the answer.
I surround myself with people. I mean, I'm always the one cooking for things. Or I'm always the one that decorates first and come to my house. All the orphans that have no place.
I'm going to have no place to go. So I can come over.
Come on over.
And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, TV Live, Rumble, Podchaser, Spreaker, and more. And I am your hashtag positively opinionated, super productive, trying to get everything settled before I leave for Australia and New Zealand tomorrow. So it's, I thrive on, I wouldn't say being overwhelmed, but I definitely thrive on the more things that I have to keep track of, the more on my toes I am and the less trouble I get into. So I have not been getting into any trouble because it's been such a wonderful, how many things can I get together and done in the shortest amount of time. But I'm super glad that you're here. PJ is already in the cashew gallery. I am wearing I'll wait for Elan to get on. She's running just a tad late, but she will be here. And I thought I would dress to honor Kwanzaa today because as I learned on Wednesday with Dr. Tiffany, I love learning new things and had no idea that Kwanzaa was actually after Christmas, but it's a wonderful African heritage, trying to be the best that you can be with some principles that I was just delighted to learn about. So let's have breakfast with me. This is a Blisscipline that I started last year, and we're going to continue because most of us, when we wake up, we do this. It's called MF, meaningless scrolling, and it sort of hijacks our attention to look at whatever the producer of the channel that you're tuning into wants you to pay attention to. And unfortunately, most of the time it is negative. Unfortunately, it may be true. And that's also somewhat unfortunate because what is put up there is if it bleeds, it leads. Somehow we as human beings like to be, we're attracted to drama somehow. Roadkill. There was on my Waze the other day, it says roadkill ahead. I'm like, really? we're gonna have that as a warning now. So and it is weird because you would think that you wouldn't look for it. So we're just really interesting people, aren't we, as human beings? But this practical Blisscipline, instead of doing this, I'm going to force you to talk about and focus on positive things. So that's the top of the bun. For breakfast, we take a bite of my gratitude sandwich, and the bottom of the bun is what we like about ourselves. That's appreciation. Top of the bun is gratitude. So here we go. And we have already some participants here. Let's see. Frank. Oh, PJ saying hello to Frank. Frank, you're going to get to do a gratitude then as well. I am grateful for this platform that is going on 608 consecutive weeks next week. And even though I will not be here live, I thought about still doing a live show while I was away on book speaking and a teaching tour in Australia, that I would still try to do the show live, but then I found out it was 4 a.m, and I love y'all so much. But I'm going to keep my consecutive numbers because I have only 1,085 shows to choose from to keep you positively motivated while I am down under. Now, y'all, I don't know one person who has listened to all 1,087 of my shows. So whatever show that is in the wheelhouse that is going to be given to you, I'm sure, hopefully you haven't heard it before, or if you have, you really enjoyed it. And that way you can stay connected with me even if I'm not physically here. All right. And let's see, I am grateful that Frank is my fab sound engineer backstage and on location at KCAA. I am grateful that PJ is always blowing up the cashew gallery. He's a great, loyal and fun friend / supporter. And I am grateful that I get my windows washed because apparently I'm a valued longer term person that's been here in my amazing building with the $1 million view. I am grateful that I have people to clean because it is my least favorite thing to do. I'm grateful that we have garbage trucks to take our refuse away. There's nothing like a good sanitation strike. I don't know if you've ever been through one. PJ, when you were in New York, I'm sure you did. There's nothing like taking for granted the fact that we get our trash taken away. So I'm grateful that I live in a country that has that in the system. I think that's it. Oh, there we go. Grateful for Marissa reading my message to our friends on the radio. All right, that is the top of the bun. I don't see anyone from Frank, so he must be busy working back there. Yeah, strikes are sucky for sure. All right, let's go to the bottom of the bun. Those of you who are streaming in for the first time, I see the eyeballs rolling in. From my vantage point here, bottom of the bun is, I believe, the most important thing to take responsibility for our own mental health. A lot of attention this last couple of years, certainly with my honorable moniker, Oprah's interview of the royals, and lots of attention from Hollywood actors who had everything. You would thought they had everything. Designers, Kate Spade, Anthony Bourdain, Robin Williams, I could go on. People who really you thought were, had it all. And they didn't have it all and were so sad and didn't have the energy to stay here. And certainly that attention now towards mental health is wonderful. But the downside of that is there's a lot of people looking outside of themselves to fix that dis-ease with life. Shopping, meaningless sex, eating, drugs, pharmaceutical, and otherwise. All of those ways in which we want to soothe ourselves. And I'm here to be a cheerleader for self-soothing. I think it's a skill that a lot of us don't have naturally. We're not taught it. We're not encouraged for it. We're told that you're only good if you do this or say this or be this for me at an early age. You make me angry. If when you do something well, I love you. So we are oriented towards looking for love in all the wrong places with our antenna. Who respects me? Who likes me? Who likes what I'm saying, likes what I'm doing? And literally now with social media, how many likes am I getting? So the bottom of the bun in Breakfast with Dr. Marissa on this show is, what do I like about myself? Not perfect, but I'm 80% pretty darn good. So what are those things about myself that I like that I can remember before I go to bed, instead of thinking about all the things that I'm not good at, or who done me wrong, or what I didn't finish. So that is the Blissipline. So I'm going to model it now. Before I go to bed tonight, I'm going to think about how I appreciate my ability to be what is that? Relatable. Somebody called me very relatable the other day, and I think that is a good thing that I bring to the table. I don't speak to you as a psychologist that knows everything and tells you what to do. I had a guest on Tuesday who said, I've never had an interview like this, partially because of how conversational it is, and partially because you lay out your own, how you're not perfect. So that was a great compliment. So I appreciate that part about me. PJ or Frank, do you want to, as we finish breakfast and then Elan is making her way in, what do you like about yourself? I appreciate my sense of style. I appreciate my ability to laugh. I appreciate my ability to be open to inspiration, inspired thought, inspired action. I appreciate my BS belief system in my connection to the energy that creates the worlds. I call it my UPS man, my universal power source, who delivers every morning when I meditate and all throughout the day. So I think that's it. I think we're good on appreciation. That's the bottom of the bun. I promise you that for 28 days, if you start your day with me, certainly on weekdays on this show, and when you're not here, what are 8 things that you are grateful for, followed at the end of the night by what are 8 things that you appreciate about yourself, you will sandwich your day in the most positive way. So that was breakfast. And all right, let's see what we got here. Relatable, able to be late again. Funny. We appreciate Orville's play on words and his attempt to be funny. He's pathologically optimistic, and that is true. All right, thanks for playing along and having breakfast with Dr. Marissa. And here we go. And I do enjoy saying this. Frankly, if you can't approve of yourself, how the fork do you expect anyone else to approve of you? I have to say that once before I go down under. If you have any friends that are down under, I'll be teaching a balanced Tai Chi Gong class in Hyde Park by the Archibald Fountain, as well as on Bondi Beach. Just contact me and I'll give you a schedule of what's going on in Australia and New Zealand while I'm there. And certainly I'm grateful. I forgot to say, my favorite niece is also having a baby, her first baby. And this is, the way my life works. I had planned the trip before knowing she has a due date in the middle of the trip. Go figure. So that's the way my life works. And gosh darn it, I love my life. All right. I think I saw something pop up here. Elan is, okay, we did that one already. Elan is taking a little more time than she usually does. So I know what I'm going to do. Oh, thank you for that heart. Somebody just gave me a heart. You can also give me the finger. Not that one, but this one, as you are streaming along. So I know what I want to talk about, and it's kind of good she's not here because she may violate the rules. I am inviting all of you to join my 21-day fast from complaining. 21-day fast from complaining. Started this little Blissipline 2011, July 1st, 2011. PJ, I don't know if you know who Edwene Gaines is. She's pretty big, certainly in agape. And I'm pulling up my website here. You recognize this one right there. And I would like you to go to the shop where there is 21-day fast from complaining. Now, what is that? Are you tired of listening to people complain? And try the 21-day fast from complaining. It's a good life habit. That's a great idea any time of the year, but this new year especially, because God knows we're not in control of a lot these days, but we can be the change we want to see if we begin with ourselves. Studies show that less complaining and more positive conversation will boost your immune system, and frankly, you are nicer to be around. If you're truly serious about breaking your worry, wart, and bah humbug attitude, then all it takes is 21 days to break a bad habit and learn a good habit. So if you'd like to put your money where your complaint is, then register with $21, which goes to my nonprofit. And if you're able to finish 21 consecutive days without complaining, it is an honor system, then you get twice your money back. But if you do complain, it's okay. It's a win-win, as the money will be donated to A Ways to Happiness 501c nonprofit, which gives books about feelings and happiness to children and teens who have temporarily forgotten their birthright to happiness. And I'm happy to say that $8,000 worth of books and programs have already been shared. If you have a nonprofit that deals with kids or adults, who I have a new place that I'll be donating to. It's Casa Colina. She's going to be a guest of mine next year. Lisa Milbourne. I met her at my U.S. Sailing Center team annual holiday party, and I'll have my skipper on as well, because we have programs out of that sailing center for adults who are developmentally challenged, but needing that challenge, and they get to take them out on the water. So they're going to get some happiness books as well. So I am so delighted. If you could support my nonprofit, that would be awesome. And join the fast. $21 is not a lot of money, but it's a commitment for you to absolutely put your money where your complaint is. And trust me, the side effects, I have to warn you about the side effects with the 21-day fast. If you do end up complaining less, I've had people say that their sex life is better because they're not complaining. Their relationships are better. They feel better physically. They smile more. They have less worry lines. So all of those are side effects with the 21-day fast from complaining. And if you would like to join in, I'll pay your $21 registration fee. Be the first one to go right now to DrMarissa.life. Put in the subject line or sign up for the Happy 88 Tribe. I'm about to send out my last happy zine for the year. If you're not on my mailing list, I promise you, I'm like one of the worst keep in touch with people. And I actually have people who email me and say, did I fall off of your list? I miss getting the happy zine because it's kind of the last thing on the line to get sent out. So don't worry, I will not fill up your box. I think I've sent out maybe 4 this year. So, but if you do, there is a gift, a holiday gift for this happy zine. So if you want the free gift, which is, I'll tell you right now, the audiobook version of my, actually you have a choice. If you email me and tell me, you can get a PDF version of my children's book called Mommy, What Are Feelings? And all of the drawings were done by my kids when they were 3 and 5. Or an audiobook copy of my #1 best-selling book called 8 Ways to Happiness from Wherever You Are. So it's a holiday gift. So make sure you go sign up at drmarissa.life, and then you'll get the code to get the free audio book, which is my Asian Oprah giveaway for this year's Happy Zine for the holidays. All right. So what do you want to talk about? Well, Orville Nation's talking about coolness. No, he's talking about several friends who could use the 21-day fast from whining and complaining. Let's talk about that. People connect to creation when they stop complaining. Super, super true. Thanks for rolling in. And she is here. This is the latest you've ever rolled in. And I was like, no, first time that I'm gonna be like talking about everything that I want to talk about. You look beautiful, darling.
Well, at least I let you get it out. I'll show you my Christmas stuff. So I woke up at 6 o'clock this morning, everyone, who I have been so bad lately. I woke up at 6 this morning, sat up for a while, and I was like, okay, well, I'll lay here and then get dressed. Well, I went back to sleep. And then somebody came in and said, you know what time it is? I was like, oh no. And I could have come on camera, but I think that it was not a good thing to come on camera how I looked. So, this takes a half an hour to get this together is the problem. I would have been on time, but you did not want to see me when I woke up.
Well,
and you know what?
Honestly,
you have red on. I have my Christmas stuff. See? I have my Santa.
It is beautiful. But I wore this red because it's Kwanzaa related. It's not just red. It's a combo between.
I know nothing about Kwanzaa. Hold on.
And Kwanzaa.
I know nothing about Kwanzaa.
Well, I know now because Wednesday we talked about it. I learned about Kwanzaa. Did you know Kwanzaa is after Christmas? It's not even before Christmas like Hanukkah is.
It's what my internet's going weird. I may have to go out and come back. Can you hear me?
PJ saying hi.
Hi.
PJ saying hi. So, yeah. It's fun on this end for a change. So first of all, I have to say, Elan's butterscotch, bangin' butterscotch bunt cake is responsible for gain of 8 pounds this last week.
Well, that's why I'm late.
2 little cakes. And I could not stop eating. I didn't even share them.
Oh, it's so funny. So my dad's back in town. He was in Detroit because they did the opening of the play again, right? So he calls me last night. And before he left, I said, well, I made you a pie and a cake. Why would you not wait until you got back? And why don't you just take it with you? Because he's like, I'm about to go eat it. I just got home. I just walked in the door from his flight. He goes, because I'm not sharing it with anyone. I'm going to eat it. I'm like, oh my God, I've been making you like a pie like every week. You got to stop. And I've gained weight because I tasted afterwards, or the kids asked me to make them one. But I've been late because I've been up, like even last night, I was up until 12:30, 1 o'clock. When I bake everything, I have to wait for it to cool, which takes a long time. And then I have to pack it. So that process is what keeps me up. Even if I start baking early, I get so tired. So I like to bake it later so it's so fresh. So in the morning, I go and mail everything out. So it's only like the night before. So when I get off today, I'm actually going to make more cakes. I didn't think it would get busy because it's almost Christmas.
I don't want another one. Honest to God.
But you asked me. I kept saying I was going to bring you one.
I know. I loved it. But I cannot.
It's different. It's a different flavor. People always ask me, should I get the chocolate or sweet potato pie? I go, sweet potato pie is like a souffle, so it tastes different. But the butterscotch cake is like something you've not ever tasted.
Ever. And it's so good.
It's delicious.
It is delicious. I'm going to have to write a review
It
on
took me 2 years to master that cake. It took me 2 years to get it exactly how I wanted it.
So it is a family recipe then. It's your family.
No. Interesting story. This woman used to bake them for Otis when I was a little girl. And so I grew up, it's so funny because I never tasted the chocolate. She used to make these butterscotch bundt cakes. And so probably the last time I ordered one for someone for Christmas, I probably was like 30 something years old. I mean, it's a long time ago because I'm only 36 now. But anyway, I tried to find her and she lives near me, right? And it's like she wasn't around anywhere. I don't know if she passed away or what. Otis doesn't know how to get in touch with her. But I mean, she started baking them when I was like 7 years old, right? She lived out in this area. And I couldn't find her. And I was craving that cake. So I was like, I'm going to figure out how to make it. It was her family recipe.
Well,
so
it's yours
hers
now.
is actually just
figured it out.
Well, hers was a little bit different. It was a little bit harder. Mine is really moist. So my mother said that she thinks that mine is actually better than hers. That's what my mother thinks.
Well, it is literally, I've never had a cake melt in your mouth. Honestly, ever. Like,
yeah, it took me a long time to. I literally took me 2 years to get it like I even had someone who was a professional baker to make me one, and I was like, no, this is not it. This is not it. And then I just figured it out myself.
Yeah. How do I rate it?
Oh, go on my Etsy shop, Goldie the Shortridge Company, and you can rate it that way.
Okay.
Everyone give me good ratings. Just at least put stuff in your cart and then rate it. And then I made cobblers, I make blueberry and blackberry cobblers and peach cobblers. So I did these handheld ones for this guy, and I wasn't kind of sure because I hadn't made it in a while, and he gave me 5 stars. He loved the hand cobblers. So I kind of based it on, like, you know how McDonald's had the little hand apple pies? Remember how good they used to fry them?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I make those in cobblers. And then I send out a half a dozen of those.
Yeah, this is the one
I'm going to put more pictures on. I make this strawberry cake that's still, oh my God, my mom's been begging me to make it. And I haven't made it in a long time because Trace is allergic to strawberries. But I make a strawberry one that's unbelievable. So I'm going to break down and make one.
You've got 6 people have it in their cart already. 7 people, including me right now. So how do I put the add a note? Is that how I do it? Add a note?
You can put a note on there. Yeah, you can put a note on there. I don't know how you do it. What's our New Year's resolutions?
Is that what you want to talk about? Go. What is your New Year's resolution?
Mine every year I have these resolutions. It doesn't even last a week. Well, the one that doesn't last a week is the one that I'm not going to cuss, right? That doesn't last more than a day.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to start the diet. That I'm pretty good and disciplined about starting diets, but I'm going to clear out any negative energy. I'm going to do my closets. I think if you redo your closets, you do your de-junk your house, I think that brings in positive and new things in your house too. There's a couple of things I think we can do as far as resolutions and affirmations for the new year coming up.
I want to make sure.
I guess.
Sorry, go ahead. I don't
you
know
get
how
me
to
in there.
I can hear you, but you're cutting out just a little bit. But I can tell. Put the note in here, but it's not taking it. So I'm just gonna email it to you and then let you put it on your site. How's that?
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
That's another way to do it. All right. So going on a diet, stop cussing. Mine is what I did while
I know
you were
it's
ready.
going out.
20. Is Golden here?
Can you hear me? I'm going out. I'm coming back in.
Here. The cursing doesn't last 5 minutes. That's Mama. That is Mama telling the truth right now. Okay, Elan's going out and coming back in. And Orville's saying hello to you, Mama. And Mama and I got to go to a very interesting movie last week. And I'm still like sort of thinking about that movie because it was very provocative in many ways. Emma Stone did an amazing job, and that was called Poor Things.
Oh no, you want to talk about that movie?
No, I went with your mom.
I know, but I saw it too.
We went.
I saw it.
Oh, you did? Did you go? Oh, you went
I saw it later that day.
Okay.
I thought it was. Can I say the PORN word?
The what?
I just spelled it. I didn't say it.
Oh, I didn't hear it because you're still
the
cutting
name
out.
of the name of films. Can I say that word? The name of films.
Oh, I think we can say porn. Is that what you said?
Oh, you said it first. It was Frankenstein porn. That's what it was. It was like I forget.
Oh, you're sounding like Darth Vader. Whatever you did, whatever you did, you made the internet worse for you. Okay. So, can you go on your phone maybe or something else? Because now you're not at all there. Oh, bummer. I'm gonna remove her and kick from studio.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yay. That's much better. Much better. Okay.
The last 2 days we've been having problems with this phone. This internet is horrible.
Yes, it is.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. So Mama's saying modern day Frankenstein for the movie. But yes, it was a lot of skin. I had actually talked about it, I think, on Monday and did a mini movie review.
It's porno.
There's a lot of skin, but that's not the point of it, though.
It wasn't just porn. It just wasn't skin. It was a lot of smashing, and it was weird. It was weird. It was strange. I want to know whoever wrote it is demented. I came out of the movie theater, right? There's a couple in front of us. The man in front of us on the escalator says, "What the blank was that? That's the worst blank I've ever seen. And who approved that?" And I started laughing, and my friend says, "Yeah, we have no word." Like, it was so strange that there was nothing that you could say about it, right? I'm like, you have to be demented to write it. You have to be warped. And then it was long. And then who greenlit it? Where there's so much good material out there. There gets to a point where you get so artsy that you want to be so artsy that it's just crap. Like, just show good acting and a good movie. Because I don't want to see your artsiness because you think you're cool. It was horrible.
So I had a very different than Elan reaction. I agree that there was too much skin, that they could have made it without all of that. However, the whole theme of the opposite of what men usually do to women, it was done to the man. That was a good theme, Elan.
I agree.
Okay, good.
But how did you get that message when the movie was so demented?
Well, but it was
afterwards, and I
had
to analyze it to get there. I had to get to
Go ahead.
That was some weird, you know what movie. That movie was strange. Anyone that goes to see is gonna say the same daggone thing. That thing, I'm trying to keep it clean. It was strange. It was weird. It was demented. Period. It was porno. It was Frankenstein, modern Frankenstein, because it was a science project. It was shot in the beginning and not in color. It was weird.
I thought the cinematography was amazing.
That was a full Twinkie Winkie, like the man in the front of me. He said, "What the F was that?" That's what he said.
So, well, I don't necessarily agree with the extreme on that. I think that they did a lot of that to make the point very blatantly, and I think they did a good job of that because obviously you're having a reaction, other people are having a reaction, and that's one of the things about a good movie is you think about it and you talk about it after. I agree that there was some parts that were just like super weird, and obviously the person who created it had a very creative mind.
You don't think the
now,
I think the first half an hour.
I don't
the first
consider
half
the
an hour.
artsiness that. Let me.
The
finish
first
this.
half an hour was so weird, Marissa. The first half an hour, we almost walked out. It was that strange. It wasn't
was
even
not as bad as
cinematography.
It was not as bad.
Awful.
You know what your mom just said? Told you she wouldn't last 5 minutes. Exactly. So much for her resolution. So here's the deal. The last movie that your friend made us go to, I thought that was worse. The one with the menu.
Yeah.
I think it was called The Menu. I thought that was worse. I thought Lighthouse was worse. I thought what's that one? The Clockwork Orange was worse. Compared to those ones,
what was worse?
Clockwork Orange, the one that your Bern took us to, that was such a horrible movie before, The Menu, that was worse. I thought that was worse.
No, this one was worse than that.
Yeah.
That was gross. This
we're
one was
gonna
worse.
agree to disagree. Okay.
I'm gonna have to go out.
See. You should interview Seth about Ted premiere on NBC Peacock. Okay, who are you talking about, Orville? Who's Seth? Anyways, okay, yeah, we're like totally out of control today. This is, if you've just tuned in, it's take my advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KZAA, NBC News Radio. Home to the Asian Okra, celebrating 25 years. I'm celebrating almost 12 years on the air, 607 consecutive weeks, over 304,000 views on my YouTube TV channel. I would love you to free subscribe there. That way you can get an alert every weekday morning to have conversations like this. This is a tempting conversation this morning because it is Friday. My co-host is... See if she heard that. Nope. Elan Carter, who is the daughter of the founder. She was talking about her dad earlier, Otis Williams, the founder of The Temptations. And I met Elan through her son, and Trace's grandma's also streaming online, participating in this.
Can you hear me? I can't even hear you.
You still can't hear me?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? You. I can't hear you. Well, that's
I'm
probably
gonna leave and come back.
Yeah.
I can't hear you at all.
Okay, go out and come back. I'm gonna kick you out this time. There we go. All right. Okay. So, creator of the Orville. Okay, well, I don't watch the Orville Nation, so it's not that would not be a good combo. and I don't have time to watch new stuff. Sorry. I am let's see. I'm going to advertise one more time. If you're looking for something to do differently next year, definitely it is the 21-day fast from complaining with Dr. Marissa. 21-day fast from complaining with Dr. Marissa. If you want a good life habit for this new year, Elan, I can make a 21-day fast from swearing, and we can change the title of it, but it's a discipline to help your life be a little more happy, which is my Happy 88 mission. 88 million more happy people in the next 8 years. All right, Elan, can you hear me now?
Nope. I can hear you now.
Oh,
I can hear you. You can't hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
I just didn't know if you could hear me.
I think it's going to make me happy to go on vacation, sit at the beach, and drink a little something like a little chi-chi. You know what a chi-chi is? It's like a pina colada strawberry.
Where are you going?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Oh, where am I going to go? Well, you know, my favorite place is to go to Hawaii. I like Maui a lot. I haven't been to Kauai in a while. I guess I should go there. I think that's where I want to go. I think I need a little Hawaii fix. It's not too far. It's close enough, and I enjoy it.
Cool. And
I would like to go to Dubai, but I don't know if I feel like getting on the flight. Because if I go over there, I'm going to sit there for a while. I don't want to go there for like a week. I'd rather go for like a month.
Sounds good.
And hang out.
I fly out tomorrow.
Oh, you leave tomorrow? Are you excited? I'm glad you're going on vacation.
Well, it's a working vacation. I actually get to.
Still, if you get to when I was young and modeling, I got to fly everywhere for work, and even though it was work, it was just so nice to be in a hotel and be pampered and catered to when you come on the set, and they brought me food. That makes me happy when I'm eating, right?
Oh yeah.
So
and I love work.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah, and I love.
Yeah,
work.
me too.
So it's not a bad.
I don't mind. It's just getting up, like, back in the day, we have to get up at 4:00 in the morning for makeup. I hated that. That part I hated. I didn't like getting up really early. 5:00 in the morning because of the sun. So you got to get prepared and get your hair and makeup done. So the sun is rising, right? And so you have to, be up super early before 6 a.m. I didn't like that part, but I did like traveling a lot, going to new places. I like exploring new food. I always like new foods. So depending on what it is, if it's not something too strange.
Well, that's one of the things that we share is that foodie love. We do love really good food. Yeah. So let's go back to resolutions. What is a resolution that you would like Americans to make? So we have personal resolutions, maybe as an American or, as humans or, just that will get to what you think we need to do to make our country a better place. And I'm tempted to talk about this because I just filled out the crossover ballot. So I was not registered because I've never been a party person. I'm a, whatever the BS belief systems about what the parties are doing are more important to me than actually being part of the party. So I had to fill out a crossover to be able to vote in this next election. I had to change, that in order to be able to vote for who I think the next president is. So just on a general basis, what do you think a resolution should be for our country?
Well, I had this conversation with one of my dear friends yesterday, one of the mothers from my daughter's school. We're totally opposite, right? So she loves to get in these discussions with me because she likes to pick my brain, right? And because I'm so opposite. And she's always talking about, well, this person's doing this in this country, and this person's doing that in that country. We got to do this and this. And I said to her yesterday, because she was talking about the homelessness, how bad it is, and who should and should not be in office. And I said, you know what? We need to stop worrying about what everybody else is doing and fix our problem here. And if we could fix our problem here and start caring about more people, and I love her to death. I give her, like, hands down, she's adorable. And she's very open, right? She's not one of those people who are argumentative, like it's this way because of this. This woman has the most beautiful house. Her house is it's literally a mansion, right? So she lives differently. And I said that to her. I go, it's easy to say that, right? Your house for your cars are as big as my house. And I love her, but I have to tell her sometime. It's easy to say that if you're not in these people's situations. Some people don't want to. Some people want to be outside and live in a tent because they have mentally, they're not all the way there. So although it has cleaned up, we do have the new mayor. We have Karen Bass, who has done a great job. And this is what I was trying to explain to her. I said, regardless, forget the party, right? You got to get past what you believe. You can't be a diehard Republican or a diehard Democrat. Let's just figure the problem to help people. And she doesn't realize subconsciously, she always goes that way. And I said, listen, I was watching because it was really starting to get bad in my area, even in Beverly Hills. It's gotten a lot better. But some of the people you can't get off because they have mental issues. So then now let's address that issue. So my whole thing was, let's address the issues in our country, how we can help people and get past this party thing, because that's why we're at conflict. That's why we don't like each other, because, oh, well, you know, I have this. Like, it's easy for us to say that when we can go back in our nice houses and our nice cars. But these people, it's pouring raining outside, storming. I'm driving down the street because I think it came up because I was driving down the street yesterday, and you know how bad the weather is in LA. And the people are in tents, and some of the tents had holes. And I said, I wish people could just have, even if it's just one of those little, you know, those little container homes, so they can have a warm place and some food. They don't want to live in a mansion. They want to have a place to live and food. If you go to countries like Dubai, you can say whatever you want about it being the Middle East. There's no homelessness there because the government makes sure that everyone has a place to live. It's not about someone having getting over on somebody. It's about someone just having the basic humanity things to live, right? Let's think about people having human rights and forget about, oh, well, they're going to get something more than I'm going to get. They don't deserve this, or they're an immigrant. Who cares? Because as much as this is another conversation we have about people being immigrants, and she talks about the border, and we actually ended on this note, and she had to go, and I had to go, and I have to call her back. I said, what's the largest number of immigrants in this country? And when I said it to her, she didn't like it. Do you know what the largest number of immigrants in this country are, Dr. Marissa? Chinese people.
Was she Chinese?
When I said that to her,
was she Chinese?
No, she's not. She's white.
Caucasian. She's Caucasian.
She's Jewish, huh?
She's Caucasian. Oh, she's Jewish. Okay.
Yeah, but and that's another conversation we have. She's got dark hair, blue eyes. She's beautiful. We get in these conversations about being Jewish, and she will say how people don't like her and this and that. And I said, but you don't look it. Your obstacle is different than my obstacle. I was like, you know what? My husband's mixed race and his mom's part Jewish. What do you think they're going to discriminate against? Him being brown or him being Jewish? Because no one knows he's got Jewish in him. They just know he's a black guy, right?
Yeah.
Someone's going to not stop you in your car. So these are the conversations that we have. She's very open. She's not like some people become angry. And I do like that. That's why she always talks to me about it. I think we just have to get to the point where we realize it's just human rights. Let's try to understand each other's issues. It's not that we're going to solve it. It's just that let's be open and have a discussion and try to understand how your lifestyle is different than mine and why. And not be empathetic to somebody else. Why is that person homeless in the street? What happened to them? They could have had an amazing job and had a family and then lost everything. You never know. You know, it could have been the fires. They lost their homes. Let's try to help each other. That's the resolution for America. Let's stop fighting about parties.
Yeah.
But I don't think we can get there because now it's worse than it's ever been. That's the sad thing, that we haven't evolved spiritually. I don't think so. A lot of people are more awoken than ever, but there's still a large number of people that are still on that whole tip about parties.
Yeah.
And I think they party together after they come on TV and tell us whatever, and then they go out and all have a good time and party at the same house.
If you just tuned in,
party anyway.
If you've just tuned in and you're wondering what's going on in studio today, it is Take My Advice. I'm not using a gift balance with Dr. Marissa, the morning show in our very special Friday series called Tempting Conversations with Dr. Marissa and
Elan Carter.
And we're talking about resolutions. Elan just gave her 8 cents worth on a great resolution, being more empathetic on what you're thinking about what. And I would totally agree with you. I have a term that I like using called planet patriotism. So it's less about party and more about planet, more about humankind, putting the kind back in human, which is exactly what you were talking about just now. And I also think that if I love anything that starts with bipartisan, because that is putting the opportunities in front of the party. The other thing, my hope and wish for Americans is they do less Newtonian thinking. Newtonian thinking, I'm going to put my psychologist hat on now. Newtonian thinking is what's wrong with homelessness? What's wrong with welfare? And here's the one way to fix it, right? There's a problem and there's one solution. That's Newtonian thinking. There's no one way to solve homelessness or the welfare program or the problems we have in the prisons or racism. It's not a one and done easy solution. You have to look at the various ways in which everything is connected to everything else. You were saying mental health. Mental health is a huge part of why we have homelessness. Mental health is a huge part of why we have domestic violence. Mental health is a huge proponent of why we have problems with, that it's not socialism is bad or capitalism is bad. There's got to be a better systemic way of looking at the issues that are not so extreme that there's only one, solution. There's never just one solution. We have to hit it on various levels in order to be able to solve the problem. That's my soapbox on systemic thinking. That would be my resolution and it would start with, no, this is the answer. No, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. I'm right. And that's the end of it. And if you don't agree with me, I'm going to unfriend you or give you the finger or start the rant or all of that stuff. It just, that's where we are now, folks. And I'm guilty too. I hate debating. I hate it with a passion because it just grounds every other person more deeply into the way that they think. And that's why I go to the other extreme sometimes, which is I want you to have the right to your opinion. I just don't want you to splatter your opinion all over me. It's anything dogma, evangelical, my way, the highway, that doesn't sit well with me. All right. You get the final word?
I just think in 2024 as a group of human beings, because we're all beings, we have to learn how to make life better for everyone on the planet. Period. I think we should just work on it. It's not going to be solved, like you said, like in one day. It's just that I think we have to work on ourselves and our mental state about how we view everything. If we take a look about how we judge people, maybe we can do better for everybody else. Learn how to not judge people.
Yeah, for sure. Orville Nation PJ is talking about the homeless. It's not worse.
It's bad. Why? I think we have enough land where we can put them out in the desert and give them individuals so they don't have to be together and give them a facility to live in. Right? Yeah. It's just simple. We have enough land to do it. Just do it. We spend money on other things. We need to help.
Yeah. And here's my thing. Quit looking in the places where there's still a problem and take your focus. You did that with Karen Batts. You said she's doing great things. That's what's going to get us somewhere, is quit pointing your finger at the things that are not working and focus your attention and highlight where they are. That's it for today. Thank you for tuning in. I'll be back in 3 weeks. I will give you my love from Australia. Thank you, Elan, for being my co-host here on Tenting Conversations with Dr. Marissa and
Elan Carter.
It's all about
my
balance.
Internet's not working good today.
I know. It's okay. Peace in. It's been a while. Peace in, peace out. World peace through inner peace. Now go and have the best holiday season ever. We'll see you in January. Happy
Merry Christmas.